morning, friends. How are you? I think about your love and your feelings about me. My loving feelings always for you. So I speak a lovely story for you. Please hear this story and oblige me. Thanks. Samang was a tribal youth who was admired by everyone. It is said that he was a favorite of the king of Sripur, who had even offered Samang his daughter's hand in marriage, but Samang had refused the honor. Samang's mother could not understand her son's attitude towards marriage. At every opportunity, she would plead with him to get married. Invariably, Samang would reply, "Not yet, mother. I will not marry until I meet someone who I can really love and cherish." At this, the mother would throw up her arm in disgust and go about the place muttering about sons who had no feelings and did not know their own mind. In the end, Samang became fed up with his mother's poor nagging over marriage, and he decided that he would travel throughout the kingdom in the hope of finding a woman he could love. He set out in bold spirits, but soon found himself walking endless miles on his mission. In this wandering, he saw plenty of attractive maidens, but not the one for him. Towards dusk, one day he came to a small tribal village that only comprised of about 12 huts. Apart from some cattle and goat wandering idly about, everyone must have been either sleeping or still in the field, attending their crops, food sore and weary. Someone decided to try and find someone to provide him with food and shelter. Glancing through the window of one of the hut, he was astonished to see a girl of breathtaking beauty busy doing the cooking. Samang knew that this was the loveliest maiden he had ever seen, and he immediately thought, "If I ever get married, it must be to this maiden." As his unspoken thought had been heard, the girl looked up, and as their eyes met, she gave a sharp cry and disappeared from sight. Samang was determined to meet this wonderful girl. He went round to the door of the hut and knocked. There was no reply, so he opened the door and went inside, but where was the girl? All he could see was a clucking black hand which blew out through the window. Samang searched every nook and cranny, but the girl had certainly disappeared. All that he found was the food she had cooked, and what tasty food it looked. Samang was puzzled and decided to wait outside the hut for the girl to return. A little later, an elderly man and his wife came to the hut. "Good morning," said Samang. "I wonder if you would give me some food and shelter for the night, for which I will pay you." "Certainly, and for no payment," said the woman as she went into the hut. Our hut is small, but you are very welcome." When they sat down to eat, Samang graciously could wait no longer. Turning to the man, he asked, "Tell me, who was the beautiful girl I saw in here when I arrived?" The man looked puzzled. "You must be mistaken. Only my wife and myself live here. But I saw the girl in this very room," said Samang. "I tell you, sir, we know nothing of this girl you talk about," retorted the man. Samang pointed to the food. "Then tell me who cooked this food." "That is a mystery," the woman said. "Each morning when we get up, freshly cooked food is placed on the table, and every evening when we come home, our dinner is ready to eat. But surely you must have some idea as to who this girl who cooks your food every morning and evening is, and where that comes from." The old man frowned. "All I can tell you is that 2 weeks ago a black hen flew into the hut. We asked our neighbors if they knew who the owner was, but nobody claimed the hen. It sleeps in the hut every night, and ever since it has been some idea as to who this girl who cooks your food every morning and evening is, and where she comes from." The old man frowned. "All I can tell you is that 2 weeks ago a black hen flew into the hut. We asked our neighbors if they knew who the owner was, but nobody claimed the hen. It sleeps into the hut every night, and ever since it has been here, our food has been cooked, but I have never known a hen that could cook." Just then the black hen flew in through the window, and the old man picked it up and put it under a basket in the corner. "Come now, it is time for bed. We can talk of beautiful girls and black hens in the morning." Samang made up his mind to stay awake during the night to watch the black hen all Though he was positive that there must be some connections between the black hen and the girl, he just could not puzzle but a suitable answer. Just before daybreak, Samangu saw the black hen lift up the basket and go into the kitchen. Careful not to make a sound, Samangu tapped through a crack in the door and had the surprise of his life. For the hen shocked itself vigorously and its body seemed to fall apart, and then, rising as if from the very ground, was the beautiful maiden. At first, someone thought his eyes were playing tricks, but it was the same girl, and as he watched, she started to prepare the breakfast. Someone tried back to his bed, resolved that come what may, he would soon possess and black hand and the girl. Later when he sat down to the morning meal with the elderly couple, someone wasted no time. Father, he said to the old man, I want to buy the black hen, and here are 2 pieces of gold in payment. But this is nonsense. The old man replied, the hen never lays and eggs, and you offer 2 gold pieces. Why you can buy a dozen ham for less than that? I must have the black hen, insisted someone, and instead of 2 pieces of gold, I will pay you 4 gold pieces each. 4 pieces of gold was more money than the elderly couple had ever seen, so they gladly gave someone the hand. Thinking he must be a little demented, someone returned home clutching his precious hand in his arms. As soon as his mother saw him, she blurted out, well, did you find someone good enough to marry? Yes, mother, and here she is, said Samang, holding up the hand. Samang's mother thought he was either off his head or joking, and when he told her all that had happened, she threw up her hands in despair, wondering that everyone would say to such a marriage. Samang's mind was full of the girl and hen, and he sat and patiently waited for the girl to emerge. When dusk came, the hen made its way to the kitchen, and as before shocked it feathered, and he and the girl embraced. Samang rushed forward and clasped the girl in the arms. Tell me, who are you, and why are you in the form of a hen? I am Jantri, the daughter of king, replied the girl. Trying to break loose, a magician changed me into a black hen, and I only regained my human form for 1 hour at daybreak and 1 hour at sunset. Only when I marry will this evil spell be broken. Suman's eye must end, and the girl has sad story. Forget the past, I will marry you and make you happy. Sumang's mother overheard all this, and looking into the kitchen, she saw the carcasses of the black hen on the floor. Thinking she would rid them of the hen, she snatched up the ear case and rushed out the house. Close by, someone had lit a bonfire, so Sumang's mother threw the carcass into the fire. Jantri suddenly screamed and fell to the floor, moaning, I am burning, the black hen's body must be on fire. Sumang discovered the black hen's body and gone and rushing out the house saw his mother standing over the bonfire. He quickly stamped out the fire with his feet and picking up the slightly charred body of the hen, hurried back to the Jantri. How now came to have recorded. A little later, Jantri merged back into the body of the hen, and Sumang jealously guarded his precious black hen through the night. Next morning, with the black hen in the arms, Sumang went to the village elder and announced his intention to marry the hen. Everyone laughed, and such an absurdity, but the chief of the elders shook his head and sternly admonished Sumang. Young man, if you insist on marrying this black hen, you will be banished from the tribal for life. So be it, father, said Sumang with a smile. Let me first marry this black hen, then you can banish me. At first the elders discarded that such a ceremony should be performed, but Sumang stood his ground, and finally they had no other alternative but to send for the priest. No sooner had the priest started reciting the holy text when Jantri emerged from the body of the black hen. Everyone was astonished and marveled at the bride's radiant beauty. All talk of banishment was forgotten, and the whole village rejoiced with the happy couple. Friends, this is our story, and if you like it, then subscribe my channel. I will be very thanks to you. Okay friends, bye. I will return with a new story next time. Goodbye.